Folks, my name is David T. Rosen, founder of CoopCrowd and our parent company, Co-op Life. And let me tell you guys, when I was watching the names come in, you guys doing all your yo-yos and introducing yourselves and stuff like that, I literally see dozens and dozens of people from different, I see thousands, hundreds of people, but dozens of people chiming in from different countries. And right now we're in 172 countries. So we're doing something right. And let me tell you, as the last few days, I don't know, it's just been, people have been hitting me up, just trying to figure out what's going on with life, how I'm doing and stuff like that. And right now on this Zoom, I've got friends from as far back as 40 years ago. I've got friends that are on this that helped me, that I hired to help me to develop the loyalty card back a couple of decades ago. I've got friends on here right now that knew me when I was just a young teen bouncing around working in retail at the Eaton Center. Folks, this is going to be super, super exciting. And dare I say, perhaps the most exciting 60 minutes of your life. I believe I'm going to be able to keep this within 60 minutes. My part should be done in about 30 minutes because I actually made some notes this time. And the reason why I say this is going to be so exciting, let me rephrase that. This is going to be so exciting if you determine that you want to participate in your own rescue. Because if at the end of this you do nothing, well, then things are going to remain the same. Now, also on this call, as you see, you've got a couple of faces there that you've never seen before. And I asked these David and Kevin to get on with us today because most of the time you see me, you see Greg, you see some of our marketers and so on and so forth. You don't get to see the people that are behind the scenes, the people that are working with us, helping to make this happen. You've heard me say that, I've got over 20 people that are on staff that I pay week after week after week. You just don't know who they are. So you're going to hear from Kevin, who's our CTO. You're going to hear from David. David, I like to think of as our own Obi-Wan Kenobi because the guy is just that brilliant. And of course, we've got Greg back with us on this particular Zoom. You'll hear from him as well. And I would be remiss if I didn't do a shout out to our other staff. As I said, I've got about 20 people that are working for us, actually over 20 people that are working for us. A couple of them have been working for us almost since day one. I got to give a shout out to them because they've really been building what you're about to see over the course of the last 20 years. And when I say that we've been building this over the course of the last 20 years, I don't want you to be sitting here thinking, okay, this is another one of those things that's going to be here today and gone tomorrow. Folks, this is a well thought out plan that is in the decades in the making. And just to give you, when I introduce Dave, when I introduce Kevin, when I introduce Greg, I'm going to give you a little thumbnail of who they are, give you a little history on them, which reminds me that I should probably give you a little history on myself, just so that you know that, this is not my first rodeo. And not only is this not my first rodeo, this is not the first time that I'm having an impact on the entire globe. Back in 1985, I created the loyalty card. And right now, every single retail location and every financial institution uses loyalty cards to create a bond between them and you, the users. And I would say that 99.9% of the people walking around on planet Earth that are in the Western world have used a loyalty card to get discounts, to get points, to get money back. And yes, I created that back in 1985. So like I said, this is not my first rodeo. In 1995, I built the internet's first mall. I had over 1,000 stores on an internet mall back in 1995. And probably my greatest contribution to to the planet is when I created crowdfunding back in 2001. And that's what we're going to talk about right now is crowdfunding. And as you know, crowdfunding, and it really became into its own around 2018 when I launched my third system, I guess it was. For some reason, I don't know why it didn't take hold before to the same degree that it did. But crowdfunding is everybody in the world knows crowdfunding. Charities use it. People use it for everything. Businesses use it for everything. Politicians use it. Celebrities use it. Entertainers use it. Virtually everybody on planet Earth is using crowdfunding to raise funds for virtually everything. And, you know, those first few things that I talked about, and I've done a lot of other things as well. And of course, I've had many failures too, because you cannot have successes without failures. And for those people that are new to business, if you haven't had 50 times more failures than you've had successes, prepare yourself, because not everything works exactly the way you want. But one thing I can tell you, that if you love what you're doing and you believe what you're doing can have an impact on other people's lives in a positive way, don't give up. And that's what brings us to where we are right now. With what we're going to talk about here on this Zoom. And let me tell you that to get to where we are right now is the undertaking of something that happened to me in 1987. And then when I created crowdfunding in 2001, it got us about 15% of the way to where I wanted to get to. And where I wanted to get to was to create a system, a financial model that 95% of the population could use to create wealth, and not just simply wealth, but generational wealth to last them a lifetime. We've done it. And that's what you're going to hear about today. And I believe that CoopCrowd will create the largest mass distribution of wealth the world has ever seen. And I believe that as we go through these slides, I did make a few slides today, as we go through these slides, it's my belief you'll feel the exact same way. So I'm going to share my screen with it so that we can get busy with it. Let me see if I can do this properly. You know, these guys, they never let me play with buttons, but by the way, I got all the controls today. So I'm going to share my screen and hope that nothing breaks. All right, look at that, eh? Look at that. All right, let me see if I can make this full screen. Where do I do that? Full screen, full screen, full screen. Yeah, you see someone else, if someone else was doing this, and this would have been done already. Full screen. All right, now, Greg, can you tell me, is the slide on full screen right now?
It's blank right at the moment. At this moment,
blank.
There it is. Now it is. There you go. It's
okay. So you guys can all see it right now.
Yep.
All right. Cool. All right. So, you know, like I said, we needed to create a system that 95% of the population can do. And one thing that I really hate, and I don't know about you guys, but is when you get into a presentation and the presenter talks for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and he does not tell you how much it's going to cost or what you need to do. So I'm going to bring that up right now. And by the way, Greg, on my screen, part of the words are blocked. Are they blocked on your screen?
No, we can see it. I can see it pretty well.
All right, perfect. All right, perfect. All right, let me see if I can do something here because it's actually blocked for me. So if I'm going to present this thing, I better be able to see everything. There we go. All right. So as you can see on that screen right there, it says, pay for everything and build wealth with just $1 a day. So folks, that's how much it costs. $1 a day. What you're about to hear today will cost you $1 a day to participate. So what do you need to do? And this is the part that freaks most people. Though the $1 a day freaks people out, of course, but this is the part that freaks most people out. Just 2 steps. Just 2 steps to create massive successes for yourself. Step 1, buy 3 co-op 25 NFTs for a one-time out-of-pocket, $84. Step 2, choose 3 friends to give it forward to who will do the same. So there you have it. Now we can get into the presentation. $1 a day, 2 steps for you to achieve what I believe will be everything that you want to achieve in life. Because as you see on this next slide, it blows my mind, folks. And some of you won't believe what you're hearing right now, but that's okay, you will. Those 2 steps are everything you need to do, everything you need to do. And you'll find out a little bit more as we continue to go through these slides. So,
David, real quickly, I don't mean to interrupt your flow, but the slide has not moved. It's still on pay for everything and build wealth with just $1 a day.
All right, you know, I think the slide hasn't moved because it's on full screen. So let me take it off full screen. Let me see what happens here if I take it off full screen. I don't even know if I can take it off full screen. And I'm glad you told me that, because the guys told me that the other day too, and it didn't. No. All right, so is my screen still sharing?
Yes.
And you can see the slides. What slide are you seeing right now?
3 key ingredients.
All right, cool. So when it's on full screen, it doesn't, at least on my computer, it doesn't go from slide to slide. So as I said here, I'm going to go back over them very quickly. $1 a day to build wealth. 2 simple, doable steps. I'm going to go over them again, so don't worry. And then on this particular slide, as you can see, once that's happened, there is nothing else to do. Nothing else to do. You are, in fact, done. So I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty awesome to me. You know, I do this so that people can enjoy their full measure of happiness. I believe that we all deserve to enjoy our full measure of happiness. And the only way, and listen, there'll be some naysayers out there, but let me tell you, the only way that you can enjoy your full measure of happiness is to have money. Money is not about greed. It is about need. If you want a bottle of water, you need money. So rich is a beautiful word. So let me tell you what rich means, so that you don't think that we're going to get rich, crazy, arrogant, and treat people like crap. No, rich means having goods, property, and or money in abundance. Having goods, property, and or money in abundance. So I'm going to do this every now and then. I'm going to do it again right now. If you would like to have goods, property, and money in abundance, please type in yo, yo, yo in the chats, because that is where we are going to go. Now, for me to accomplish the goal of helping 95% of the people, or at least give them the opportunity to live a rich life, the system that I build needed to have 3 key ingredients. It needed to be affordable, because if it's not affordable, then not everybody can participate. At $1 a day, it is affordable. And by the way, for those of you that may not have $1 a day, and there are people out there that don't have $1 a day, you can join for free. Let me put that over there, okay? You can join for free and work your way into the system. So this is built for everyone. Your system, the system that needs to be created needs to be easy to understand. It's just 2 steps. We can all do that. The system needs to be hugely rewardable. Folks, you can receive an unlimited income. I'm not going to tell you how much you can receive, but here's what I can tell you, that if you need hundreds or if you need thousands to pay your monthly bills, tens of thousands to get out of debt, or millions to get your big idea funded, you can use this system and you can reach your goals in 2 steps. Let that sink in. Here's what we've done. Everyone's been hearing me talk about CoopCrowd for a number of, over the course of the last 3 years, we've been talking about CoopCrowd. And CoopCrowd is an awesome, awesome system. It is the world's first cooperative crowdfunding system. And in a cooperative crowdfunding system, you are not alone. It means that whatever funds you need to raise, you're going to raise as a team. And that is why you can raise all the funds that you want and need in 2 steps. I'm not going to explain the cooperative crowdfunding system all the way through, because Greg's going to do that on a regular basis. And I want to get through this so that you can understand what we're doing here. So I can also tell you that why it's taken so long for us to launch. Let me break that down a little bit. So yeah, I started this, when I first came up with this idea, it was 2006. I called it Every Month a Million. It was a brilliant system, but the world wasn't ready for it at the time. Then I ended up getting sick. 2018, I started working on it again. It was called CoopCrowd. When we were first supposed to launch back in 2018, another system came about, which was a good thing because it helped to put over $100 million into people's pockets, just like you. And that allowed them to start to begin to live a rich life. Then I was about to launch it on April 6, 2020. We knew everyone in the entire world knows what happened on in the middle of March 2020. We all got locked into our homes. No food, no income, no nothing. So obviously that put a delay in it, which was a good thing, because that delay allowed us, the team, to understand the new technologies that are out there, which allowed us to create the world's first decentralized peer-to-peer crowdfunding system. And what it has also allowed us to do is allow us to make money meet technology. So that brilliant idea that I have for cooperative crowdfunding has now gotten bigger. So when we talk about technology, we talk about the internet and Web3. I won't get into what exactly Web3 means, but what I will tell you is that it has meant the world to us, because now we have been able to create a cooperative metaverse. And that cooperative metaverse is built on a public blockchain. And when it's built on a public blockchain, that allows us to keep historical records and accurate records. What it's also allowed us to do is to create a DAO. A DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. And what a decentralized autonomous organization allows us to do, it allows us to give you a piece of the company. And it allows you to have a say in the direction that we go. So now, actually, I won't even get into that part right now, but I will get into the third thing that you see there, which is Co-op DeFi. DeFi stands for decentralized finance. And let me tell you a little bit about DeFi. It allows us to do what major financial institutions do. It allows us to do what banks have been doing. It allows us to do what organizations like Facebook, Twitter, Google have been doing. It allows us to monetize virtually everything and share it with you. It allows us to help you make money on your money, the same way the banks have been doing for years. You put money in the bank, they lend it out 10 to 100 times. They make all the money and they give you 1 to 2% a year. You are gonna love what we've got going on here. It's also allowed us to provide you with 3 types of income instead of 1. Now, this here is so exciting for me. And the reason why it's so exciting for me is because we all know what. Did you do something there, Jabri?
No.
All right. I think it said recording stopped. Can you check to make sure that this is still recording, Jabri? So anyways, let me get back to it. It says earned income. So let me tell you what earned income is. Earned income is what you've been doing and what we've been doing and our ancestors have been doing for the last 150 years. That means we've been going out, we've been getting a job, we've been working 40 hours a week, we've been working for 40 years, and we've been retiring broke. The industrial age is dead. In CoopCrowd, earned income can be completed in those 2 steps that I told you about. Buy 3 co-op tokens, give it forward to 3 friends who will do the same. Buy 3 co-op tokens, give it forward to 3 friends who will do the same. As crazy as that sounds, that's all you need to do for your earned income portion to receive these 3 types of income. The second type of income that we need, and you know, if you've ever read any book like Robert Kiyosaki, who may be the most prolific writer as it pertains to financial information, he talks about the 4 main quadrants. We only need 3 main quadrants. Earned income, which you should be able to complete in a day, no more 40 years. Passive income. When you complete those 2 steps, it sets you up with passive income because we provide you with an NFT. And in that NFT, you can grow royalties, which you will receive, can receive every second of every day. And then the third type of income that you can all participate in is portfolio income. And portfolio income is like that, what I was just talking about, which you have in a DAO, which the banks and financial institutions were receiving, which you now can receive. And as you see, I've gone back to these 3 steps again because it blows my mind. Excuse me. It blows my mind because we've made everything so easy. I'm just checking my notes because this is so important. I don't want to miss anything. I don't think I have so far. It says just 2 steps, so it doesn't say anything. My notes don't say anything than what's there. So when you buy 3 co-op tokens, co-op 25 tokens for a one-time out-of-pocket $84, and you give it forward to 3 friends who will do the same, and I tell you that that's it, and there's nothing else for you to do, it is it. There will be nothing else for you to do unless you want to. Because when you give it forward to 3 friends, in CoopCrowd, we turn your giving into your receiving. And you remember that $1 a day that we talked about? When you give it forward to 3 friends, your $1 a day is covered. Meaning that when you have done that, and in perpetuity, as long as those 3 friends remain active, in perpetuity, that $1 a day will be covered. And you will receive increasing amounts of donations every day forever. And we can join each other on the beaches of the world. Yes, it's crazy. Take my word for it, though. Here's why. And this is probably pretty small, which is going to make it difficult for you to see. However, I'm going to explain it, and then later, you guys will be able to see it online, because we got the new site that's coming out and all this other wonderful stuff, so you'll be able to see it online. But let me tell you what happens in the cooperative metaverse, because it's mind-blowing. Let me tell you what happens in the cooperative metaverse. Let me ask you something, Greg. Can you see these numbers on the screen here?
Yes, I can see them.
Yeah, okay. If you're on a computer, you can probably see the numbers that are on the screen there. So I said that you are going to buy 3 co-op tokens, and you're going to give it forward to 3 friends who will do the same. So right here on Crowd Stage 1 in your cooperative metaverse, which is on the blockchain, which means that it has historical records that you can refer back to forever, you give it forward to your 3 friends. And we said they're going to do the same. And by the way, just in case some of you are thinking right now that, well, what if my friends don't do the same? Get another friend. Buy a 4th token. We don't expect everybody to do exactly what we're told to do. You can put a gold bar worth $50,000 and put it on the side of the street. And as people are walking by, you can say, look, there's a gold bar. It's worth $50,000. If you go pick it up, there's a gold store right there. If you take it there, they will give you money. And as astonishing as this seems, 50% of the people will say, no, I'm good, and just keep walking. And the reason that I know this is because I got all these blooper videos on Google and on YouTube that you can check this stuff out. Blows my mind. So when you give it forward to your 3 friends, that's another 9. Now you're receiving a donation from 12 people. And when they give it forward, and when they give it forward, and when they give it forward, ultimately, you're going to be receiving a small donation from 88,572 people. Is it going to happen tomorrow? No. Will it happen if you do this? Yes. 88,572 people giving you a small donation every 28 days. Would that help you live a rich life? Of course it would. And then all of that money that you are receiving, you get to put it into our DAO. You get to put it into our co-op ecosystem. You get to make more money on your money. You get to do what the banks used to do. You get to enjoy your full measure of happiness. And let me tell you something else, right? Because you see, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time, and this is not my first rodeo. And I get people saying all kinds of crazy things. And we've seen all kinds of crazy businesses. And most of these businesses, you know, they've got a good story. They get you to part with your money. They say you're not going to get your money for 90 days, but they're going to give you 1% a day for those 90 days, but they disappear. And you lose all your money and your friends. I know the things that help people, that prevent people from getting involved in businesses because they think it's a scam. They think it's a Ponzi. They think it's a pyramid. We are none of those things. We are a legitimate income system that can help you build wealth, not only for this generation, but every single generation to come. Think about what I said earlier. You can use this system for as long as you want for free, if you choose to. I've spent almost $10 million of my own money building these systems. If I built these systems and they didn't work, and I said to you, you can use it for free for as long as you want until you decide to become an active donor and mint your co-op NFT, I would be broke. Here's something else, which is this page here, that is so interesting that nobody else does for you. GoFundMe doesn't do it. Facebook doesn't do it. PayPal doesn't do it. Nobody does it, but we do. If you receive $100 today, you get your $100 today. If you receive $100,000 today, you get your $100,000 today. Because we are a decentralized peer-to-peer crowdfunding system, and because we have essentially built our own bank, which is the co-op wallet, you get your money when you want it. Nobody else does that. So use the system, share the system, try the system, take out your money. We've done a whole bunch of other things as well to really make this the greatest system that I believe, and I think you'll agree, that's ever been created to give you the opportunity to build wealth, real world wealth. I love this. So as you can see on the screen right there, it says a lamppost can do it. It's not a joke. I own the domain name a lamppost. When we launch, I am going to put a sign on a lamppost, and it is going to have a dynamic calculator that is going to show you how well the lamppost is doing. Because this system is so easy that if you affix a sign to a lamppost or your forehead and you walk around a city, people will go to that site because it will say, if you need more money than you have right now, go to this link. And then the system does everything from that point forward. Folks, this is that perfect opportunity. I'm going to just say this, and then I'm going to turn it over to Kevin and to David. I'm going to introduce Kevin, I'm going to introduce David, and I'm going to introduce Greg, because I want you to understand the things that we've done. And over the course of the next few days, the next few weeks, the next few months, you're going to start to see some things that are going to help you to realize that what we're talking about right now wasn't hype, wasn't me trying to get people excited for nothing. You're going to see things, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about here. And you're going to be excited, and you're going to start living differently. And your friends are going to start living differently, because this is built for everybody, not just the people that are smart in business and have lots of contacts. Everybody. Buy 3 co-op tokens, give it forward to 3 friends who will do the same. Everybody can do that. So right now you have 3 choices. You can listen to that stinking thinking. And by the way, let me tell you a funny story. Greg, you know, I usually don't like talk about negative things, but I got to tell you this funny story. So some of you that are on with us right now, you've received a WhatsApp message from me because you're part of it's a small group. It's only 300 people. It's a small group. Some of you received that WhatsApp message from me. So I sent it out. And one guy replied back. Well, lots of people replied back, but this one particular individual replied back. And when I tell you what he said, you might understand why he replied back the way he did. So he replied back saying, "It's a scam. Stay away from this guy." So I looked and I wanted to see why he would possibly say something like this. This dude has received over $20,000. Over $20,000, and he's only given less than $5,000. That means that he's ahead over $15,000. And the guy doesn't even work. Not only that, this same guy who sent that message has not logged into his CoopCrowd dashboard since December 1st. And the reason that I know this is because we keep track of every single thing that goes on in the system. So we know these things. Guy hasn't logged in since December 1st. However, almost every single day, that same person has been receiving donations and he did not know it. Not only that, we have two systems. We have Co-op 25 and we have Co-op 250. I'm not going to get into that right now. But because we created our own bank and we created our own wallet, the funds go into that bank and into that wallet. And people allow us to take the $28 out every 28 days, or the $280 out every 280 days. Everything about this system is automated. Now, you do have a choice to turn it off. But let me tell you what happens if you turn it off. Because I got another friend who got tired of waiting, who's received over $100,000. And she turned it off. Let me tell you what turning it off means. Have you ever heard the story about the golden goose? The goose that lays the golden eggs? You know, every day or so, plop, there goes another golden egg. And, the person would take that golden egg, then they would run to the store and they would buy groceries. They'd buy meat and potatoes and food and clothing, and then plop, there goes another golden egg, and they'd take that golden egg and they'd use that golden egg to pay their rent. One day they were looking at that goose and they said, "Oh, doesn't that goose look tasty?" And they ate it. When you eat your golden goose, or when you turn off your auto upgrade, you can't receive any more money. Why would you do something so foolish, especially when you are ahead of the game? So anyways, just thought I'd share that because it's mind-boggling the things that some people do because they heard that somebody told somebody that told somebody that told them that this is a Ponzi scheme. Folks, do not let somebody else spoil your dreams. Remember, you can use the system for free. Do your own investigations. So you can listen to that stinking thinking that's going on in your head. You can keep doing what you've always been doing and keep getting what you've always been getting. Or you can complete the 2 steps and start living a rich life. The best part about everything that I've said so far today is you get to decide. That is the end of my slides. I almost feel like I haven't said enough, but maybe I've said too much. That's why we have David, Kevin, and Greg here. I'm going to introduce Kevin. And before I introduce Kevin, I got to find out, because listen, I've been working with these guys for a while. So, and I know, let me just stop sharing my screen here. All right, has the screen stopped sharing there, Greg? So I've been working with these guys for a while, and I asked them to send me, like, not that I need it, but I said, send me some highlights, some points that I could reference to tell the world how great you guys are, instead of me just yammering on. Because if I start talking, I might talk for 15, 20 minutes telling people how great Kevin is, telling people how great David is, telling people how great Greg is. Because here we go, I got no more slides. Now I'm rambling on. So anyways, let me see the messages that Kevin and David sent to me, because it's just blowing my mind, man. It's blowing my mind. These are the people we have that have partnered with us to get us from where we are today to where we want to be tomorrow. So let me find Kevin here, because, you know, Kevin's such, like, I mean, let me see what he sent here. Kevin, do me a favor and send it to me via WhatsApp, because I can't find it.
Let's skip it.
Let me find David. But send it to me, because you've got so many highlights. I don't want to miss any of these things. So let me tell you a little bit about David now. David sent me a long one. Like, these are all David's accomplishments here, right? It goes on and on and on. I'm not going to read them all because it'll take 20 minutes. But I'm going to tell you about some of the highlights, because these guys are remarkable. Like I said, David is our own in-house Obi-Wan Kenobi. And if you follow Star Wars, you'll understand what I'm talking about. If you don't follow Star Wars, look it up on Google. Because anytime you want to know the answer to something, guess what? Google's got it. So David is a lifelong entrepreneur. He's done a lot of things. He has created and run and sold more than 20 companies, ranging from international retail, civil construction, cellular, and manufacturing. David's produced multiple television shows. The dude's he's done it all. But some of it, and he has also assisted foreign governments in cyber defense, co-developed, and by the way, so David and his team co-developed and patented a natural language engine, which will blow your mind. There's something else that David patented that I can't tell you about, that makes all of the stuff that's going on almost seem like it was invented by the caveman. So we got some pretty cool people here. David, he speaks on a regular basis to people all around the world, groups all around the world. I'm not going to keep reading all of this stuff because there's so much, but David's worked with NASA. He's worked with the NSA. David is a super businessman. He is part of our team. And what David is going to do right now is he's going to help to fill in some of the blanks that I may have missed on what these technological advancements mean to us and how we've been able to enhance what we're delivering to you and what it means to you. So David, I'm going to put you on the, I'm going to pin you up here now. You got the floor, man.
Thank you, David, and I appreciate being here. Welcome to everyone who is online. David certainly gave me more than I deserve on the introduction, but I thank you. I wanted to say that I have worked with a lot of people, and when I met David, I found him to be a person of incredible integrity, working a project that he is proud to be out front on. There are many people that do projects online that really do hide in the background. And as he said, there are people from time to time that will attack, they'll attack anything. But here's a person that is willing to stand out in front of a project and take any criticism and explain correctly why they are misinformed. So I think it's really important to understand that I don't just work with anyone. When I put my tactical deployment behind a project, I'm there because not only do I believe in the project, I believe in the people and most importantly, the person behind it. So my role is really helping work with David on his strategy, coming up with tactical deployment. And that's really what this call is about today, letting you understand where David is taking this organization and how much money and wealth, which is the key factor here, that you can bring to yourself and your family and your friends. Now, my part going forward will be to continue to evolve and move CoopCrowd to, as David said, a DAO, decentralized autonomous organization, which will hold incredible benefits for everyone that is a co-op member and participant. But where I will really contribute is to your questions through education. Part of the new system is to form an online education academy that not only shows people how to use the system, but also how to maintain, acquire, and grow their wealth. We're doing that in a blockchain world. And for many people, that is new. Blockchain is arcane, meaning it is still misunderstood or not clearly understood by a lot of people. But the advantage you will have in participating in CoopCrowd is what I would think to be, or I consider to be, revolutionary. Back in the early 90s, when David got started with his projects, let's take an example, 1994 or 1995, the internet was only really just coming about. And there were many people critical of it as to whether or not it could do what people imagined it would do. And then we saw a massive meltdown in the year 2000, 2001. But if we look back on those 20 plus years, we know that if we had had the knowledge that we have today about the internet, the strategies that Amazon and eBay and Uber and all of the companies that have made billions of dollars, what would we do with it? What would we or could we do if we had that knowledge today? Well, those times have gone, but there is a new internet, a new technology that is run over the internet called blockchain, and it is changing everyone's future. For most people, they probably won't be involved in blockchain for 2 or 3 years, and then they'll be catching up. But for the people of CoopCrowd who start to participate in the community, you will get education on things such as what is blockchain and how does it work? What is a cryptocurrency and what is cryptography? The fundamental things that can be challenging to learn. There were a couple questions I saw in the chat while I was there. One person, I wrote down his name, I don't see it here right now, wanted to know what is the difference between a co-op NFT and a co-op token, which is the money. I'll give you an example of a quick explanation. A co-op token will be the form of money that is used in your wallet. It'll represent $1 American. But because in the crypto world, we don't use currencies that are used in the world, we use one from crypto cyberspace, we will call it a co-op token or co-op dollar. Now that does differ from a co-op NFT. An NFT is a buzzword. You see people or hear about them buying and selling them for hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, in fact, the NFT that David is creating is in that same family. It could be worth millions and millions of dollars down the road as the value goes up. And to explain really briefly what an NFT is, in David's case here, the co-op NFT, think of a taxi cab, not a taxi cab driver. In order to drive a taxi, you need to have a license or permission to drive it. You are given that through the organization, and then you go about your business of driving a taxi. If there comes a time that you wish to sell your license, you're able to do that. And that's what the co-op NFT is in relation to you as a member. When you participate in CoopCrowd, as David has explained, you continue to receive dollars into your wallet. However, there is one other piece of valuable content there, your NFT. It holds information about who you are, about where you sit in the matrix for earning revenue, and its appreciated value. Because like a taxi cab driver with his license, if he happened to have a good route or happens to make a considerable amount of money in that taxi, he could sell that license to someone else. And that is what you will be able to do for the first time ever. You are not only getting an income, but you're getting equity, and equity is wealth. such to say that if you have been participating in CoopCrowd for some time or considerable amount of time, you will be able to value what your license to be in CoopCrowd is worth, which is the NFT, and you will be able to sell it in an open marketplace to another person or member of CoopCrowd who might wish to buy it for many times the amount of money that you are getting in right now. So that's sort of just the excitement and the beginning of it that you will see. And of course, you will be taught all of that. You will understand what coins, tokens, NFTs, crypto, how to buy and sell, how to use an exchange. In fact, from the very time you begin to make money on CoopCrowd, you will move into the crypto world and be able to take advantage of all the decentralized finance that will continue to build wealth. I'll stop there because I know there's a lot of other things that have to go on and people that have to talk, but I can assure you, what you are hearing today from David is truly revolutionary, but what he's got in store for you, as he says, is mind-blowing. Thank you, David.
Well, thank you, David. And you heard David talking there. And listen, guys, no matter how much talking we do here, we could talk for another 3 hours, another 4 hours, and we can tell you, and each minute of those next 3 or 4 hours would give you something else that's more compelling to help you understand what we're doing. But we don't want to talk for 4 hours because we've got lots of time to do that. Just to sort of sum up, not even sum up, because you can't sum up what David said. It was brilliant. But to give you an idea again, and just talking about that co-op NFT, when combined with our cooperative metaverse, which is on a public blockchain, it means that this cooperative metaverse now has a pin in it. And that pin that's in there is your co-op NFT. Now, to give you an idea of really what that means, just look at planet Earth. Look at where you're living right now. Look out your window. You see a house. You see a building. You see a business. Those are all things that hold value. So if you own a house, for example, that house, if it's worth $1 million, it has value. And you can borrow against the value of that house because it has a fixed position on planet Earth. In the co-op metaverse, you have a fixed position in that co-op metaverse. And that position is growing in value if you are doing things. And quite simply, if you do the two things that I mentioned, buy 3 co-op tokens, give it forward to 3 friends that will do the same, that NFT will continue to grow in value. Now, when you look on a stock exchange and you see a business, and we'll use Microsoft, right? You see Microsoft on the stock exchange. And if you remember, when Microsoft got started, I don't know what, I'm making a hypothetical number right now, but let's say when Microsoft got started, that stock was worth $1. But over the decades, over the years, that stock has split many, many times. And if you went back to that original stock that was worth $1, it's probably worth $1 million right now because it grew in value. That's the exact same thing that's going to happen to your co-op NFT. It's going to grow in value. And because it is in the cooperative metaverse, and because it is on the blockchain, and because it has real world value, you can use it the exact same way as you have a house. You can borrow against it. You can lend money against it. You can sell it if you choose. It's yours. So you're going to be able to build incredible wealth. And then when we talk about those other things, listen, folks, the world is getting ready to be insane with not only what we're doing, because there's some other great companies out there, especially in the technology world, that are doing some great things to help us to go from where we are today to go to where we want to be tomorrow. Talking about the cooperative age, I've coined this generation, this time right now, this century, as the cooperative age, because today we work together. We help each other to build wealth. We don't rely on big business. They can't give us a job anymore. We don't rely on the government. They don't have enough money to help us. We need big business. We need the government, but more than anything else, we need each other. Now I'm going to bring Kevin in. Kevin has now shared with me. I know these things, but I don't want to make a mistake, right? So Kevin is our Chief Technology Officer. He's also been the Chief Technology Officer of many different businesses. He's been building financial platforms for 20 years. He is the former Chief Chief Technology Officer and Chief Information Security Officer for a $18 billion financial services company. An $18 billion financial services company. That company that he was with prior to being with us had services in 15 countries around the world. We are fortunate to have Kevin, who is a part of our team right now. He's got a couple of other things in there, but I think I've said enough. Kevin, I'm going to bring you in now. I'm gonna make you the so people can see you now, brother. Thanks for being part of what we're doing. Tell us what's up, man.
Yeah, thanks, David. I don't know if I can hold a candle to what you guys are talking about, but anyhow, welcome everyone. As David mentioned, I've been building financial services platforms for over 20 years. And when David called me up last year and started to talk about the things that he had planned, it was different. It was innovative. It was revolutionary. And for me, that was exciting. So, for me to be able to join this team was a big opportunity, a different opportunity. And I'm, always about the challenges. So it was easy for me to say yes to join these guys. As you know, working with David, it's easy to stay excited, get excited and stay excited. But, I had the opportunity to meet all of the people on the team. And I'll tell you, the quality that he's, amassed and the people that he has on the team are as good as I've ever worked with. I've worked for very large organizations, and these guys are top notch. They're working, there's innovation throughout the entire organization. This isn't just David's idea or any of these guys, any of our ideas. It's the innovation throughout the whole organization that helps drive this forward. And we've already talked about some of the blockchain and some of the technology that we're doing. And I'm not going to get into the nerd talk because nobody wants to hear about that part of it. But I'll tell you, the leading edge technology that we're using, the direction that we're heading with the DeFi, a lot of my experience has been on a lot of the, not just conventional financial services, but retail financial services and different things. This is truly innovative. Like, this is absolutely different, which is what I get excited about. So we're using and leveraging all of these leading edge technologies to be able to, get with modern times is really what this is. We're just ahead of most companies, and you take that sort of combination of a great team and everything else and everything that we're working on, and the stuff down the road is even, in my opinion, even better, but we'll get to that. But you take David's vision for the future and what it can offer. And David Chalk had mentioned a few of the things that, combining that with the education and everything else. This is different. This is awesome. It's incredible. For anybody that is part of it or thinking to be part of it, and you're willing to put in the work and maintain and be an active member, it's going to be a really fun and exciting ride.
Great. Thank you very much, Kevin. And like a lot of, let me just remove that pin. So like a lot of tech people kind of remind me of hockey goalies and baseball pitchers. They're really low keyed and they stay in their own lane. So this is about as excited as I've ever seen Kevin. So thank you for that, Kevin. So as you can hear, guys, it's not just me. And Kevin brought up something that's very important, because right now you see 4 of us on the screen, including myself. You see 5 of us on the screen. That is not the whole team. Kevin's working with working with all of our other tech guys. And it's not just 1 or 2. He's working with all our tech guys on a daily basis. And one of the things that I just love about the things that these guys are doing is that everybody can see the vision. So no one's looking at what we're doing as a job. No one's looking at what we're doing and saying, okay, well, it's 9 o'clock, time to punch in. It's 5 o'clock, time to punch out. No, man, listen, these guys are working around the clock. I'm working around the clock. A couple of the people that are on the Zoom with me right now, they were talking to me at 7 o'clock at night. And when I say on the Zoom, I mean the participants that are on the Zoom. They were talking to me at 7 o'clock at night. They were talking to me 2 o'clock in the morning. They were talking to me at 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't stop. My guys, they know that we've got tasks to do. They don't stop. I love these guys for it. So we've got something great going on. I'm going to introduce us to Greg now. Most of you already know Greg. Greg he's awesome. He became part of for lack of a better word, the corporate team just over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago or so. And he's been a great addition to our team. One of the best communicators. He's more than just a communicator, but one of the best communicators I've ever come across. Unbelievable at sharing the passion of what we are doing to help you to understand why you need to be here. And I can tell you, and many of you that are with us right now that have been, trying to figure out, well, when is David going to tell us what the heck we're doing in a language that I can understand? So Greg has been out there doing that, and he hasn't been armed with the goods. He hasn't been armed with the knowledge that you now have been armed with today, because I'm a secretive guy. I'm not going to tell the world what we're doing before we do it. So, Greg, thank you very much for being out there in the line of fire day after day after day, taking those arrows, taking those barbs, allowing people to say, what the heck is going on? Is this like, are we ever going to get there? So Greg, over to you, brother. Thank you. Go ahead.
Hey, thank you so much for that, David. I tell you, and to listen to what Kevin shared and what David also shared, I'm fired up on a whole nother level, but, I want to give it back to you because you asked me to send over my credentials and things of that nature. And I didn't, because it's really not about me. It's about the team out in the field. I've done a lot of things online and offline. I've done retail management. I've been in the financial services industry as well. I was in sales and marketing for a Fortune 40 company. I've built teams in the tens of thousands with multiple companies throughout my career in the MLM space as well. And it was about a few years ago that I was able to parlay some money off into some other things. And I've been gainfully unemployed for a lot of years because I learned some things about wealth, and I just stopped. And when I finally met you and I sat down, and I talked to you and I listened to your heart about what it is that you're looking to do for the planet, I was intrigued by that. And I knew I'd found home here with the co-op lifestyle and with you. And so I'm telling each and every person that's listening right now that you don't have to look to the left or to the right with the team that he's been able to put together from a corporate structure. The vision of where this is going, co-op is the tip of the spear of the new economy that's coming forward for each and every one of us. And we can really truly build real wealth. Just the other day, I was doing a training with some of the field, and I was talking about this definition of wealth. And I want to share with each and every one of you, because I want you guys to understand that what CoopCrowd and Co-op Life has created, it definitely fulfills money's highest purpose. And I want to share this with you guys. And it says, dear friends, dear members, anyone that's listening to this right now, true wealth or well-being can't be found in a static balance sheet, no matter how large the accumulation of financial assets. True wealth shows up in sharing and giving, allocating and distributing, nourishing and watering the projects, people, and purpose that we believe in and care about with the resources that flow to us and through us. If we see money as something that flows through our lives and the world, then we have the opportunity to allow this resource, just like water, to move and nurture the most people possible. In that way, money fulfills its highest purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you with every cell in my being that what Co-op has put in place for each and every one of us, it allows money to help the most people, but also to fulfill its highest purpose. Money is fuel. That's all that it is, right? The company is like a car. You don't buy a car to buy fuel, okay? A car takes you somewhere. It takes you from point A to point B. Now, I'm going to say something to you guys that you guys may not be able to wrap your mind around initially, but if you marinate on it, you'll understand what I'm saying to you. All right. A company is not just in business just to make money. Just like you don't buy a car just to buy fuel. It's about going somewhere. A company should advance society. It should take people to a higher level of existence. That is what CoopCrowd is doing for each and every one of us. It is allowing us to have money fulfill its highest purpose. And so to those of you that's looking at all these other deals out here just for the sake of money, you're missing the opportunity of a lifetime. Just 2 steps, just 2. And watch how money flows through this ecosystem like never before in human history. This is where money truly meets technology in the most perfect way imaginable. That's why I planted my staff here. That's why no matter how the optics look, I believe in David T. Rosen's vision. Okay, he's been doing this for 20 years. I believe in each and every one of you. I believe in the team that we're putting together, and on the corporate side of everything, it's just time for humanity to show up like never before. It's called CoopCrowd for a reason. It's a cooperative. I was looking at some of the chats in here, right? And one of the things that a mentor shared with me a long time ago, he said, listen, the ability to observe without judgment is the highest form of intelligence. When he said that to me many years ago, I didn't really understand it, but now I do. There's some people saying, you know, he spelled lamppost wrong. Okay, so what? All right. He spelled it wrong. Is that a deal breaker? David talks this way, talks that way. I don't like how he sounds. So what? Is that a deal breaker? This vision of helping humanity go to a whole nother level is about cooperatives. In order for us to cooperate, we have to lower our walls, okay, of judgment, of prejudice, and all these different things, and allow us the freedom to grow and cooperate together. That's what humanity is missing right now, and CoopCrowd is the track to get the job done. So if you're about that lifestyle, now I want to encourage you guys to join us in this endeavor here. So David, thank you for all that you do. I'm ready to rock and roll, brother. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Yeah, I know you are, Greg, and thank you very much as well. You know, Greg said a couple of things there, you know, and I said it, and David said it. You know, money is not just something so that you can boast about. It is the fuel, the transportation to get you from where you are today to where you want to be tomorrow. And here's the thing about money, is that if you were a bad person with no money, you will probably be a bad person with money. If you were a good person with no money, you will probably be a good person with money. So don't let it distract you. Forget about all the things that you've heard about it's better to give than to receive, and that you don't need money, you don't need wealth. All those same people were the same people that put the financial plans in place in 1934. Were the same people that told you that smoking was good until it didn't make them enough money. Listen to your mind, listen to your family, listen to what you need for yourself and your family so that you can live your full measure of happiness and a rich life. I would like to tell you, everybody who's with us right now, to do those 2 steps right now. But even if you are already in CoopCrowd, buy 3 tokens, give it forward to 3 friends. However, I'm also going to tell you this. We are not here trying to sell you something. We're here trying to offer you a better way. I recommend that everybody that you talk to, don't listen to what your friend says. Don't listen to what the naysayers say. Don't listen to what I say. Listen to yourself. Do your due diligence. In the next couple of days, we'll have a new site up, which will give you much more information. Do your due diligence. Make the decision for yourself. Try the system for free if you're not ready at this moment to buy 3 Co-op 25 tokens and give them forward to 3 friends. Try it for free. But whatever you do with the next few moments of your life, don't simply get off this Zoom, go back to your sofa put a Twinkie in one hand and a remote in the other and say, well, that was interesting. No, take action. Whatever that action is, take action right now. Your life depends on it. Your future life depends on it. Your family depends on it. You need to take action. I'm David T. Rosen. I want to thank everybody for being on this Zoom, giving us a few moments of your valuable time, because there are things that you cannot buy more of, and time is one of them. Thank you for that. If you believe we're on the right track, one last time before we shut this baby down, give me one of those yo-yo-yos, put it in that chat. Let David know that you appreciate what he's doing. Let Kevin know that you appreciate what he's doing. Let Greg know that you appreciate what he's doing. Let Jabri know that you appreciate what he's doing. And let's get busy with it. Woo! I'm not excited.
Thank you, brother. Well done.
Thanks, guys.